NURY Martinez. What's up, man?
How are you?
Nice to see you.
With my dog Martin from back in the day.
Island, baby.
When I used to go clubbing in the mosh pit.
What's up, man? You got the crew neck. You got the.
Did you talk to Did you talk to Kurt?
Yeah, I did. I told
Jesus.
him I'll speak with you. You know, he called and he said,
So now he's okay with being suspended, but he doesn't want to resign. I'm like, well, we can't force him to resign.
it'd be the same action as what was at Wizard.
Transfer a leave of absence.
That's what I think he should do. But you know how
They don't
Mark is.
ask. They don't
Mark
ask.
Mark is Mark.
But
What I
he-
did hear is I don't think the feds have talked to him yet. You know that meeting? They show you your options?
Yeah.
That hasn't happened.
So he hasn't been.
He's gonna get arraigned on Wednesday, but I don't think the meeting where they kind of show you, here are the options, this is what we got.
Okay.
So these are your options. I think the meeting goes something like this. This is what we got. You either cooperate or we're gonna go after your son. You both of you go to jail. That's what I think they're gonna.
I called,
It's gonna happen.
That's how it works.
Over the weekend, I called a buddy of mine who is former U.S. attorney. Yeah.
I have one of those too. It's good to have one of those. Yeah.
Cool. We're very close. And he had the Lance Armstrong case too, when they were going to indict Lance Armstrong.
And the cyclist?
The cyclist, yeah.
What did he do? Doping. Was it doping?
Yeah, and the case was coming out of the LA office, of the U.S. Attorney's office here. And I said, hey man, give me your objective feedback on this thing, on Mark Lloyd Thomas. You know, he said, I haven't read the whole indictment. He says, I read parts of it. He says, it's a righteous case. It's a legitimate, real case. He said, for those who are talking about, some people receive money like in a paper bag, and then so many people get wire transfers or whatever. This is taxpayer dollars as opposed to private developer dollars. So in many ways, you can say that the case is even worse for Mark Lloyd Thomas than it is for Jose Huizar. The one thing is private dollars.
One of the contracts he moved is worth like $9 or $11 million.
Yeah. I mean, I think the thing that Huizar got was like $500,000 in cash. He said,
In increments.
an increment. He said, and then I said, isn't this the equivalent when, particularly African American community, which was righteous, it says Gil Cedillo had crack cocaine and was sentenced to 25 years to life. NURY Martinez had powder cocaine. She lives on the west side. She's a rich kid. She gets like 2 years of probation. Isn't that the same argument that they're using, but only in reverse? You know, because now they're trying to like there's a double standard. No, there's not.
You think so? Yeah, no. Did anything twice before judging Jose?
I know. We went after him right away. And you know what I did during the course of my campaign with city council? I never criticized Jose Huizar.
That's smart.
Never, one single time.
Me neither.
I don't even know the
People
guy
do what
well.
they do. And what's to say that Jose wasn't doing it to also feed his kids?
No.
Right? I mean, this is, I mean, the connection is Sebastian, but what's to say that Jose also didn't have debt at his kid's school or trying to figure out how to pay for college? I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying. I mean, he could have been helping his kids for all we know.
Yeah.
That's probably not the case, but whatever.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. And not good, illegal, but I mean, he's still helping the kids as opposed to that little entitled privileged prince, Sebastian Lloyd Thomas.
Well, I think probably he hooked it up for certain people.
She's so cute. I can't believe you're in this stage of your life, by the
I
way.
know. I did my interview the other day. I said,
That's loco con esta
I'm a
niña.
grandfather, and I have a 47-year-old son and a 2.5-year-old little girl.
She's so cute.
Your 47-year-old son looks like he's 37.
Yeah.
Her jeans.
Yeah, the jeans. Look at him,
Wow.
the jeans.
Let's go Dodgers.
When you like all that stuff, I didn't really care for
Hey, you like our outfit?
shit.
Hey,
what?
I go the whole little kid shit. Like,
Thank God for
thank God for my husband who wanted a kid. So like,
Look at
There you
the
go.
it was an
sweaty bands, little rocket ships.
I was okay.
Look at these curls. You like these curls? I
It
know
took
you
me
have
8
them.
years to have a kid. To convince me to have a kid. That I should do that.
Yeah, I know you like these
To
curls.
convince, yes.
That's your.
And I love tough
I have my
girls.
little girl this
Like
weekend.
whiny little kids. She tough? I love tough
Oh,
kids.
dude, this girl is.
Can you hang?
She's the boss.
Are you
She's
gonna
the boss
cry?
of her school. She's the only one who walks in not leather. She walks in, puts her back,
With authority, that's right.
gets her stuff,
She's-
goes, gets in her place. She's like in charge.
So anyways, you didn't connect with, Kurt? He
Did.
called me last night. Oh, you did connect with
Yeah.
Kurt. Did you connect with Kurt?
We talked earlier. Yeah. Regarding his,
What's up with him?
Kurt is, taking the temperature of the council, probably at Mark's request. I think Mark knows sort of the direction that the council's gonna head in.
Mhm.
And he's trying to take the temperature. I think they're getting the two things mixed up. I think they're getting the whole resignation piece with the suspension piece. Those wires are being crossed and I don't know if it's Curran's the right person to explain things to.
Go ahead, hi.
Yeah, we're half asleep. So I was doing my best, I was doing my best last night to explain that the process we took with Jose was one of suspension. It doesn't mess with his paycheck and he can still collect a paycheck. It's not on us.
That's Ron Galvin.
That's what I told him. You need to go talk to that white guy. It's not us. It's the white members on this council that will motherfuck you in a heartbeat.
Mhm.
So he started naming names. They go, you got it. You know who it is? Mike Fear's gonna fuck with this. Galper's gonna fuck with this. Bob Blumenfield's gonna fuck with this. Polly Paul. That's what they do.
It's the very same when I was in the Senate, when they had the whole shit go down on Antonio Mendoza.
Where is that guy?
Artesia,
I never got along with him.
when the whole thing went down with, when I walked into the caucus, and I got all the members there, like clockwork. All the white members, cut them right now. Like, this is about transparency, and this is about justice, and legal. And I said, there's not really a legal issue here. There's no criminality issue. There's just a harassment issue. The people of color were more like, he's not guilty. He's not being charged by U.S. attorney, district attorney, no attorney. It's more of an internal harassment policy issue. And it was very fascinating, to Nury's point. The white folk will cut you in a heartbeat. You know?
Good government.
And then when it's them, they figure out some shit how to
You get a PR firm,
Yeah.
you get, the best attorneys in the city to defend them and defend their bullshit. So that's what I told Karen last night. I think we need to be careful with that. It's not us, it's not Gil, it's not, well, what about Kevin and Gil? Go, they're not saying anything about that, about his paycheck, about resigning, no. Just go take care of your shit, go. Go take care of your business and hopefully it all works out.
Yeah, well, you
I'm not gonna trash him in the paper either, because that's the other thing they were worried about. I go,
you should.
In fact, I'd probably do the opposite. Good luck. I hope he gets exonerated. Go through the legal process, but go raise your $2 million. You're gonna need to fight this. Well, that's the other thing that I told you. My friend who was a former prosecutor who was actually head of that department.
At the corruption unit.
And so called him. He's a good friend now. He said to me about this whole thing's gonna work out. And he's like, there's no path here for him. They got him.
They wouldn't moved on that, had they not. These are ironclad.
He also told me that the school is cooperating extensively. He knows enough about the case because he's got friends who inside the U.S. Attorney's Office who are working the case, and the university is. I have a feeling that when I read the indictment, this woman was saying all over the place.
The dean.
Hablando, diciendo, listen, this is gonna happen, right? And somebody in her office, or somebody in that department, or somebody, yes. and started compiling all the emails, knew about the text messages, knew about the letter, the handwritten letter that she wrote to Mark, the contract. But it wasn't in writing, it was a handwritten contract. This is what you're agreeing to do, and I'm going to do this. The U.S. the U.S. Attorney's Office has a copy of the letter.
So my U.S. attorney friend said this too. My U.S. attorney friend said the following Saturday night. He said, what is very interesting here too is not just MRT, but USC themselves. He says that USC did a preemptive strike by going to the U.S. Attorney's Office right away.
Is this when Caruso sent the letter, have this investigated?
I don't know.
Caruso's the one that, remember
Yeah.
that?
So, but he says, but the dean herself, this 83-year-old woman, was acting on behalf of the university in terms of doing anything and everything she can to raise money, in this case for her Department of Social Work. And one could argue, she says, that if I'm the lawyer for the dean of the old Larita, I'm turning on Mark. She's going to most likely turn on Mark. That all she was trying to do is raise money for USC. It says, but even though USC has done a preemptive strike by contacting the feds and collaborating, the question becomes, it's like if you're Exxon, an oil company, and you committed all of these illegal acts, and then you go to the Department of Justice and say, hey, we just found out from a whistleblower from within our ranks that this happens. He says, it'll be very interesting if the U.S. Attorney's Office, maybe not, goes after USC too. So I guess it can go like that way too. They go after USC too. But he believes that the lady, La Viejita, will turn on.
No, they'll plea
Was she
out.
black?
No, a little white lady.
No, I was trying to find a
I
picture.
looked. I found
I
a
didn't
picture.
find a picture of her.
They'll plea out.
You think
Oh,
of Pia?
Oh, yeah.
I
Not
think
yet.
we'll know more, guys, after Wednesday, when he goes and gets arraigned, and then they have his meeting.
Here's the problem for all of them. Everything the lady did was transparent. And open. I told you, Ron, I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna do this. Kevin, I'm gonna do this. This is what we're doing. This is for the university. So she's acting
On behalf
on behalf of
of the institution.
The university vets it out. They got 1,000 lawyers. They got the Marcus, who is a ton of lawyers who vet it out.
What else can go on in that school, man?
They got all this stuff.
They got a cochino gynecologist that was molesting kids for 20-something years.
We have the dean,
You got,
Carmen.
yeah,
Mark
you've
Carmen.
got,
I like
you
he's
also
fun. It's when you come
have
in.
that tuition, or what is it, the college admin's case where
Oh, yeah.
you've got the kids, that actress whose daughter
They
Oh,
find their
yeah,
way
yeah,
in,
yeah.
was on the yacht.
This is one that
That
Caruso sent his
Caruso,
daughter
yeah,
there
they
on
had
that
sent a
yacht
helicopter to
in
get the
Mexico.
kid off the yacht
Yeah.
in the Bahamas. Shit, what a life, huh?
Man, they're really going after it. I was with Gene Block yesterday from UCLA, and we're at this event for the Chinese massacre for UCLA, and they're really when the LA Times got a bug up their ass, they just like. So I talked to Sam Garrison the other day, who is the GR. He reports directly to Carol Folt. He was telling
The
me.
son of Jimmy Garrison.
Yeah, some Jim Garrison. He told me that a couple of reporters got Pulitzer prizes
For the investigation.
for the investigation of the
Investigation
UNC. So
report.
that what they're doing is legs. Just keep it going. Just keep it going. Just keep it
David
going.
C. told me last week, I didn't want to talk to him. I was like, hey, I don't want to get quartered in this shit, but what do you want? He's like, and the feds are leaking shit to David so that he can write about it.
Yeah.
That fucking little piece of shit. And he's like, I just wanted you to know, like, did you know that there's more incriminating evidence against Mark? I said, no. How would I know? And as a matter of fact, I don't want to know. So I'll talk to you later. So I feel very uncomfortable with this conversation. I don't know why you're telling me this shit. I'm
They're
like,
gonna look at his county stuff too.
so Hilda called me.
One county.
He used to fuck with Hilda a lot.
Yeah.
Hilda's like, I go, well, I get it, Hilda, pero cuídate, because, I mean, were you voting on this shit too?
Hillary should be careful.
That's what I said. I said, I think you be careful because
She
whatever
was under
you
FBI
start,
investigation.
whatever onion you're starting to peel, I mean,
Did you know that?
God, no, I didn't know that.
You know,
I guess we all have, huh?
She was under FBI investigation or something like that. I know, because FBI visited me.
I guess we all have.
And she doesn't know after all this time. I didn't
Yo
know.
no sé, but I advised her que tuviera cuidado, and she's doesn't even know if she's got the votes. But tomorrow she's introducing some sort of motion to audit all of this shit.
Oh, tomorrow.
That's what she told me, and she
So
said that
she's already looking into the LA Times.
the only person that has sort of signaled that is going to be supportive is,
Catherine.
yes, las otras no, le digo, don't be surprised
They should.
if the African Americans
What?
or the old guard get to Holly, get to Sheila, of course, because Sheila's
The white
all
liberal.
about it. And Janice is gonna panic and probably not do anything. So if you're gonna do this, make sure you line it up, because if not, you're gonna look stupid.
They gotta call that audit. Do they need a vote for that? They should just do it.
But
That-
she
that
called
makes
me
sense.
and I was like,
That makes them
when
look
she
bad.
calls me about that shit, it's because she wants me to help her get the votes. And I'm like, what? I'm not involving myself in your shit. That's on your side of the street. I don't, you know. So I told her, you're gonna have problems with Holly, Sheila, y Janice le va a dar miedo because she represents African Americans.
But you know what I wish, just in general?
Huh?
That if there was you should tell her, whatever happens, if it was her or another Latino, they'd be fucking voting for that shit.
In a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat. They'd vote for that shit in a heartbeat.
So I go, I think it's
It's double
true for
standard.
them not to, but
It's the double
make sure
standard.
make sure you do your rounds. At least secure a third one.
Yeah. Because that's bad politically for them. That comes to a vote, and they're probably
It's
going
bad
to say,
for all of us.
you know, they're probably trying to make sure Ela doesn't bring it up for a vote.
Does Corinne sound nervous? Is his shit done? Like, can't really tell. He told me it was done, but I'm like, man,
Well,
I don't think any of our shit is
I
ever
guess-
done.
I guess you said that he was never.
Right, it's never done. They never close a chapter on us. They just keep opening another book. They turn the page, huh?
Yeah, I think they like the business. You know, trust me. I had one situation once that it infuriated me. I had the FBI one day go visit some consultants who I fired from the Energy Commission, not the Utilities Commission, because I thought they were too close to the utility companies, and I become pro tem. So I'm pro tem for the first time. So I'm like cleaning house. I'm cleaning house.
It was your anniversary this weekend. Facebook reminded me that I was at the Walt Disney Hall
I was
7 years
October
ago,
15th, yeah.
when you were doing your little swearing.
Swearing in, yeah. Which, by the way, that swearing in ceremony,
Oh, you got shit
Latino,
for.
I got shit all over for it. And a month after my thing, in November, Zev Yaroslavsky had a black tie, red carpet event at the Walt Disney Concert Hall.
You
What
made
did the
front
press say?
page.
no, that,
What did the press say? Shh. See what you-
That's why I don't have parties, because of you.
'Cause-
No, I'm serious.
But you know
because
what?
I'm like, we can't celebrate our own
No, you can
accomplishments
have a party, but you know what?
because we'll become,
No, you can't
headline
have
news.
it. You can't have it. But you gotta have it at El Pueblo or Rivera Street.
Mhm.
You have to have it at Roosevelt High School or Pacoima. That's what, because that's what they expect us to be at.
I can have it in Pacoima right there by the
Fuck
swap meet.
Yeah.
Just right out the swap meet. And
You-
you guys
yeah.
did it.
You can't have it at the Walt Disney Concert Hall, which is a public building.
Or the Mayfair
And you
Hotel.
got a
Or
lot of
aquí
shit
in
for
MacArthur
that.
Park on the
The
hill.
criticism for that. And I'm like, I was there. You
I
had
wish you
you
were
had a
partying,
ceremony.
at least she's a party.
And then you fed us truck food.
Taco food.
Yeah. I mean, it
Tacos.
wasn't even, you didn't even have the little waiters doing this shit
No.
inside. I remember.
Well, Kamala raised, when she got Attorney General, Kamala raised a couple $100,000. Nada, tranquilo. I raised $50,000. And the $50,000 was to fucking feed them food. And I got
We had a
the
bunch of trucks.
I got the venue free, but I had to pay IATSE because I had to do all the sound stuff like that. Those were all the costs. And I got shit all over it because we as Latinos, whether you're in labor, whether you're in the political space, whatever space we're not supposed to fulfill those positions. And it has to do with the white liberal world. Because I told folks again, all those crazies in Orange County who are pro-Trump, I said, forget about that. They don't do nothing to us. They're just crazy people. They're no threat to us. It's the white liberals. It's the LA Times.
Amen.
You know, and if you saw the press, just objective. If you saw the press over Mark Thomas, You would think this guy was gonna be canonized for homelessness, for everything he's done.
Doing buildings after
The
himself?
guy, the more who talks about homelessness,
Nothing
but
about that.
outcome and
You
production.
tell me what Measure H has done. You tell me how many detox beds, how many mental health facilities
Puro
you
weed y
fucking
culero,
built.
mano.
You tell me where are those beds that this initiative was, that this tax was supposed to do? This is why he was freaking out when we come after the county. Like, he freaks out and defends them.
He defends Lhasa, he defends the
He
county.
defends where he comes from because he didn't do shit when he was there.
For 10 years.
Mhm.
He did nothing.
That's when we started having him and I started going sideways. I'm like,
I told my
Like,
staff,
yeah.
I said, why do I work this hard? I don't want to work this hard. Let's do it the way Marco Thomas does. Let's slide and glide at the surface, lightly,
that's not what
and then
we're
give the
about.
perception that we do things,
We hang out with white liberals and make them.
Yeah, but
make them
our
see.
community is the poorest.
No, I know what you're saying. I get it. I know. You're
Just
right.
did
We're just saying
260.
sarcastically. Yeah.
260 right here,
At the park.
260.
You got good press.
Yeah, dude.
Not one person left behind. Not one cop, not one fight, nothing. 10:30 was the deadline, 10:50 it was done.
I want him to arrest the protester.
The only people left were 30 protesters who bum rushed the fence and the gate.
You should make a big announcement tomorrow, Tuesday, what you did.
But
And how you did Bob No
the
Cops.
Times, right, they hate it. They hate it because we didn't even call them when we did our exclusives. KPCC, Univision, Telemundo, Babillon. Those were the 4 things we did exclusive with.
Those 30 fucking protesters should get it by a tent and move in the park with these
I
guys.
told him I locked him up.
We told them, leave them and lock them in.
No, but there's nowhere for them to charge their Teslas when they go back home to Silver Lake,
So
Yeah,
we,
where are they gonna go take
in
a
the
shit?
park.
so we left them.
Right there with everybody else.
I told
So
him, I
we
said,
left
let them freaking.
In the lake.
Ron, when they stormed,
Cochinos.
I said, leave them to get there. We got all the city vehicles out, we got everything out, we left them. I said, wait till after the news, and then go tell them we gotta split again. So they left, we left them there, what'd they do? They're sitting there like they don't have nothing to do, right? There's no cameras, there's somebody there, and it's just like, park's closed.
I thought this was a rudderless ship. I read
Mhm.
last week.
What,
The city is a rudderless ship.
You know what I'm gonna say? Fucking asshole, dude. ¿Qué pasa? What? I don't understand. I don't understand where that went wrong. I mean, I told you. I don't
Is that what you
have.
said?
Rudderless ship,
Definitely
no
called
leadership.
No leadership. Rome is burning
Yeah,
was the other quote.
yeah.
I was gonna text it and get into it with him, but what for? You see the messages, hermanita,
that's what it does.
hermanita. You heard the shit that I played for you. It's crazy shit. The shit that he leaves on my voicemail, I'm like, man, dude. He's trying desperately to figure shit out for Karen. He was the only one there at her thing on
Does
Saturday.
he leave you those hermanito?
Hermanito?
No, he
Hermanita.
walks for the awkwardness of saying he's been there for me, and it's kind of,
Oh, that's not. How?
I just listen, and it's.
How many times have you been fucked over?
Like him?
I keep a score for this guy because he forgets. I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know, man.
He and I never been close. Never been close.
I always say, fuck, you'll fuck his ass up.
You will.
Never.
Let's go beer bar. No
Yeah.
hard liquor.
They-
You will.
listen,
You will.
like
Just a sober.
Jukebox and a beer. Fuck it. Watch my boy rock. I tell, the stupid people that I hang out with. Watch my boy rock. Go to beer, old school. No hard liquor, just a jukebox and beer. Fuck it. Watch him.
Well, I can drink him under the table, but he's pretty fast. I would say he is.
Yeah,
He's a
but
fighter.
he looks like
I'm a diplomat, he's a
little
fighter.
viejita.
Yeah, ¿qué trae con
He looks like a
ese?
little viejita. Someone had something. Who's that
He
little
looks
old
like an
lady?
old church,
I said, that's
old
a
African American church lady.
I didn't realize he went gray that. Well, I guess he must have dyed his hair, but I didn't realize his hair was that curly. Did he call to tell you that he was gonna support her?
He called and he said to me, we've been friends for 40 years. We go back to the Communist Party in Casa. So I said, I mean, Kamala's operation did a number on Karen, when it came to the whole VP thing. Who do you think as a drop of the op research in the press, you know, when it came to the whole dynamic of Karen and the Deep Sixer with her Communist Party ties. He says, it was A. Smith and all those folks who did it, you know? And it says, who, and then Maxine called me, and Maxine said, this whole VP shit, you know how Maxine says, you know, that was no real thing. That was Nancy calling Joe Biden. Said, can you do me a favor? Can you just elevate this woman, you know, for a little bit? That was not real, but I guess they got bronca.
They did.
Maxine and her.
When I was here with Maxine here at your event, she was talking all kinds of shit
Yeah, so.
about all of them.
See, my thing's like
I like Maxine, by the way.
I like her too. Yeah, she's straight. Yeah, she's straight.
Whatever, Aaron, I'm cool with her.
Gil and I talk. I mean, decades upon decades upon decades. Look back, and what have any of them done for Latinos? And what are they gonna do moving forward in the city? Nothing. So, you know, all this, I mean, my goal in life is to get the three of you elected, and, you know, I'm just focused on that. I mean, we're like the little Latino caucus of our, you know, our own
city.
Yeah. And we have to find, you know, new folks to bring in. Blumenfield was in here the other day, right? He goes, well, we're trying to create another Latino town. Why do we have to do that? I go, fuck. The way I see it, all of the seats are Latino.
What did he say?
He goes, oh, you got a point there.
Fuck that.
You know, what do we say? 52% of the population is Latino?
His mentors are the reason we're so fucking gerrymandered in the valley.
Right. Right. So, I mean, I'm hoping that you guys can all figure this redistricting out, because I just need you elected.
Yeah.
I just need you elected. And then they're fucking with you? Where are you at now?
Yeah. I was Wendy and Polanco and Cats. I don't know, I didn't have any beef with them, but I guess there's beef now. Huh?
Shadow Hill.
How the fuck do you gonna put me in Shadow Hills?
Where?
Not only that, you took away the airport, you took away Anheuser-Busch, you took away, which generates about 1,000 jobs. The airport generates another, about 5,000 jobs.
Right.
And then you took away the Sepulveda Basin, which is all the shit that I'm doing in preparation for the Olympics.
Is that Hanson Dam?
No, Hanson Dam is Monica's. The basin is the middle of the valley.
Oh, okay.
That's between the 405 and the 101.
Oh.
That huge, it's always on fire. That huge fucking piece of land. I'm working out a deal with the Rams. I'm working out a deal with LA 2028. The mayor's involved. I just got off the phone with the owners of the Rams, Stan and Kevin, on Friday. And I'm watching all this shit, right? I'm like, So if you want to talk about Latino districts, what kind of districts are you trying to create? Because you're taking away our assets. So you're just going to create poor Latino districts with nothing?
Well, no, that's it.
And the whole Price Marquis shit, and I told Curry yesterday, I don't understand this whole thing. Listen, Curran, the way I see it is you busted your ass to bring the Lucas Museum. You busted your ass to build that football stadium, right?
California.
You did all that shit, and now this guy just wants to take it from you. If he's arguing about assets, go take the airport from Bonin. Andale. You want to do that? Let's roll. Have your commissioner put that shit out there.
But you know why they want to take those assets? Because they anticipate
Him losing.
whether he loses, that let's say he prevails, this next upcoming round, this will be his last 4 years, that it eventually becomes a Latino seat. They want to take all
That's
those
even
assets.
worse. That's even more insulting.
Yeah, that's what
That
it
you're
is.
not only gonna back up your brother, but that you anticipated going Latino because you know it's coming, and you don't want that Latina or Latino to have any assets. It's even worse.
Oh, but they're
Yeah, but
affecting.
the next election is determined by you three.
I'm just saying I'm glad you caught on to it because that's exactly what they're doing.
But they're trying to fuck another another Latino, meaning me, by saying we will compensate you, Crown Price, by taking half of downtown away.
Yeah.
You know, and giving it to you.
Yeah.
So
Taking that shit from you.
They fuck a future Latino for City 9 and the current Latino for City 14. That's how arrogant. Just how arrogant.
So going into this, it's very clear to me that Katz already had a map even before they met. I think Bob Blumenfield, his fingerprints is all over this, and I think they've been working I think they co-opted Fred Ali. Fred has very strong ties to the African American community in South LA. I didn't realize to what extent, and I think they co-opt them, and then the rest of it is just, they got your commissioner convinced that this Latino seat in the valley is worth anything. It's bullshit. It's a fake seat. And she's headstrong about that shit, huh?
Did Danny say anything about it too?
Yeah, Danny told me Bakewell, who I have a relationship with. I do. He's always been good to me. I called him for some, not advice, but sort of a sounding board about Mark. He told me some shit in private that I know I'm making the right decision based on my conversation with him. But he also was asking me about this redistricting bullshit because he's very frustrated because Mark has his fingerprints on the shit that Marquise is trying to do. So even among them three, it's problematic because they're fucking each other. And so he met with Marquise and Curran separately to trying to figure out if they can, slice the baby in half. Curran's not about that. So they're trying to figure out how to split Expo Park and maybe, I don't think that's a raw deal for Curran. What I told Danny was this, I said, leave Curran alone because he needs those assets to run for re-elect. That's his platform. Job creation, economic development, todo eso. Leave him alone. What I think should happen, if this is really about assets, I told Danny, tell Marquise to go after the airport. You got the people mover, whatever that shit is called. You got the modernization projects coming down.
Then he'd go after another
Billions of dollars worth of contracts at the airport. We're negotiating with labor on other shit. You want to be a baller? Go after that. Because that's where the fucking money's at.
Because that's the fourth
He
black
loved
member. But that's the fourth black member. There's 4 blacks, on the city council.
He loved it. There's a what?
The 4 blacks.
4 blacks?
Yeah.
Bonin.
Mike Bonin.
Oh.
Oh, no, Mike Bonin won't fucking ever say people on Latinos. He'll never say fucking word about
That's dead man walking, right, Gil?
Yep. Yeah, he is.
Good.
Good. He talks so much shit about homelessness and he doesn't even fucking build any house.
Nada. The trackers, look at the trackers. You and I are always on the tracker. Even Lasso put on a tracker last week. You should see the fucking 15 fucking motels or motel rooms that fucking Bonin put up. Fuck you down.
260 placements Friday night.
To his 15.
His 15. Thousands of units of housing.
He's got to run in a recall now, right?
So what's going to happen with Bonin is if it qualifies, this is why I need to ask the city attorney. If the recall qualifies, his recall is scheduled for March. Recall.
Not the election.
The election's in June. So si pierde, he's still on the ballot for June. So what does that mean? He runs twice, he gets recalled in March, and then he's still on the ballot for June. How does that work?
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
He'll lose both. He's not gonna rehab himself in 10 weeks.
So getting back to Marquise, I told Danny, if you want to cut a deal, and if you want to make like fucking boss moves, I would go after the airport. He goes, fuck, I love that idea. I said, tell Marquise,
So
go take it from his friend.
Don't go
after, leave him alone. Go get the airport from his fucking little brother, that little bitch Bonin.
Black people.
I go, what is with Bonin? I said, Bonin thinks he's fucking black. That guy don't think he's black. I go, he thinks he's black. I told her the same thing.
This kid is.
He goes, why are they so close? No idea.
He's from Massachusetts.
This kid, the one here,
Those kids are dumb.
He's black.
All these Latino
Lo
kids
trae
are
así during Black History Month, lo lleva al council y lo pone acá en el, remember, it's an accessory. When we do the MLK parade,
Just like when
They used to have those statues in
Lo traes,
plantations.
Wait,
didn't
just
they?
like when Nuri
In the
brings
front.
her Goyard bag or the Louis Vuitton bag in places.
there's su negrito, like on the side, and lo trae, ¿verdad? You sit next to it, you don't know the other side. For MLK, for the parade that Herb used to organize, and we need all the council who wanted to join Herb on the float, because he used to do a whole float to be nice. Bonnie would be like, hey, Nuri, are you going to the MLK? Well, Herb invited me, yeah, I'll go. Okay, I'm bringing whatever the kid's name is. I'm like, it's like the oddest thing. It's like black and brown on this float. And then there's this white guy with this little black kid who's misbehaved. Este niño has they're not even, they're not doing, The kid is bouncing off the effing walls on the float, practically tipping it over. There's nothing you can do to control him. Parece changuito. And I'm just like, oh my God. I'm over here trying to parent this kid. I'm like, you can't do that. I said no. And Mike is like, I'm like,
I've
you're
heard that
not
word
fucking
before.
teaching your kid anything. It's me and Karen Bass on the float trying to fucking check this little kid. Me, Karen Bass, y la esposa de Marquise, Carrie. And we're all looking at each other because we're the three women on the floor. Like, who's gonna fucking, this kid's gonna tip us over.
Yeah.
Because he's literally hanging on the rails.
Well, you can't let him off because the spectators will beat his ass.
Yeah.
They're raising him like a little white kid, which I was like, this kid needs a beat down. Like, let me take him around the corner and then I'll bring him back.
Yeah.
¿Sí me entiendes? Ven para
It's a
acá.
pinch. Something.
Yeah.
But he is, he's the fourth one.
So anyways, getting back to redistricting.
Yes.
That is, yeah, so.
Well, I look at it like your opponents are broad. There's a lot of connection between all this, right? So, and we have to be cognizant of it here. I have to be quiet about it, right? But we have to analyze who really is, our opponent.
Yeah.
Right? Like with Gil's opponent, she appears out of nowhere, a 31-year-old, lawyer that, who's she, right? But once Isaac Bryan endorsed her,
Isaac Bryan endorsed her.
yeah, it surfaced the opposition.
Yeah.
So all the, folks like with Ascon, he did call me, he wants to have breakfast with me.
What's taking him so long?
I just said, hey, we need to talk.
Gil supported him from the.
All right, don't worry, I got you.
Fuck that
So
guy, that's
you'll
fine,
start
man.
seeing them line up.
He's with the blacks.
Isaac was the first one. And I was with Isaac on, hanging out at the Taste of Soul in South LA. So, but it's deeper than, because Gil and I were talking about it, it's deeper than what you think. This isn't any 31-year-old rookie running.
She's running on her own.
Yeah, she's not running on her own.
This kid, Luis, whatever her name is.
I met her for the first time the other day. She came, I don't know who she was, and she introduced herself.
I've never met her.
Yeah, but it goes back to, what has her mentors done for our peeps?
Yeah.
Now,
The
who are the
biggest thing-
mentors?
That I talked about on Thursday,
Aaron?
ENA, was a lot of this has an anti-union bent.
Yeah.
It's all about funding.
Yeah.
The COCOs and the whole range, I'm gonna talk to
So your point about the
tonight.
nonprofits versus the
Mhm.
unions.
A whole range of affiliates, right? Good names, benevolent mission, but anti-union, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you told me you wanted to count the number of engineers in your committee meeting, and at 7% blacks, and they were screaming for equity to get to 9. And then they tell him 22% Latinos are engineers, and they say we're up. You meant equity, you meant parity. It's like, that's not parity, it's 50.
Yeah.
Half these engineers have to be, right? All those are union jobs, right? Everything in the city is union.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is lockdown union. We need more people at the desk, more architects, engineers to evaluate all the development that's needed. All the development that's needed is all the jobs that we have to create. But they want to give it to a nonprofit that COCO dictates, where you're not really an architect, you're not really an engineer, you're kind of a tech, right? Oh, you don't need to be an engineer to do that. You don't need to be an architect. You don't need to be a public works. You don't need to, to pick up the trash. Everything is done by 501c3s.
Mm-hmm.
And that means all the union jobs.
It's a different type of outsourcing.
It is outsourcing. It's contracting out.
It's subcontracting.
Yeah.
It's
Straight
contracting
out.
out.
It's that's how we see it, is contracting.
Yep, 100%. So the ENA, Same people coming after you, same people coming after me.
Who did you kill, Darlene?
Is that her name?
The one,
Oh, Marlene.
Marlene.
African American woman?
No, you're talking about, oh, engineers and architects, no, we're talking about the other. The other one?
Darlene Cooper?
Yeah, who does our new represent? It's not engineers and architects, it's the other one.
This was Tyler.
Did they get it?
Yeah, they got it. They were like friggin' saucers. Like, oh wow.
Yeah, look, it's like Kiwa.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Kiwa does all the restaurant and small stores. They encroach on HRE and UFCW. And I had I'll share this with you all. But the woman from Kiwa, Alexandra, was critical of Alma from SEIU and what went down with her, right?
Oh.
So she said she was driving this morning and she didn't know if she should say anything and be critical about what just went down, but we can't accept that kind of behavior. If you ain't even in a legal, you're a fucking 501c.
They don't say nothing about Mark. They don't say
No,
nothing about Mark, but a
nothing
Latina
was-
woman, yeah.
Well, I shut her up though,
It's real sad the shit that I heard what happened to her though.
but I had to put her down because all the SEIU people, we were on Zoom, started bringing up their screen, but once I talked, right,
I
they,
feel bad for her.
yeah,
Dude, everything at SEIU to me starts 100% suspect. Right? Come on, man. I know this stuff.
yeah.
I feel bad for
100%
her. I
suspect.
don't, it just doesn't sound like.
There'll be a Phil Drizzle back there someplace. There'll be somebody. All I know is the people that run out were people who wanted to organize workers.
Mm-hmm.
And the people who stood are people who wanted power.
Do you think they wanted her out? Somebody?
Yeah.
Of course.
Well,
You
the
get too
internal
much
lead
power.
to the PCC, but like.
That's where it started, right?
Yeah.
With the
So,
FCC investigation.
you know, in Marido, the taxes and the EPD stuff, but I've said to folks, listen, I don't know the particular details, I know Alma is a good, strong Latina woman. I said $10,000 in 2014 in the next country state senate race in Orange County, was little about food. Are you fucking kidding me? Really?
Yeah. They didn't like the tacos.
Really?
Well,
And it's el esposo, if el esposo, si él tiene bronca, es el esposo. But you really gonna tell me?
That's how I saw it too.
Right.
He might have had some payroll issues, whatever. I'm not making excuses for that. I mean, people
no,
get
but
sloppy, no sense.
the bigger thing is they're looking at certain people,
Right?
right? And we just can't give it, we can't give ourselves to them. You know, and it's hard, because I mean, your staff might do something fucked up, right? You gotta answer for it. But, and Gil lived through this. Martin Ludlow.
Yep.
Martin Ludlow.
Yeah.
They weren't after Martin.
Mm-hmm.
They just said, okay, fucker, you wanna be that way? Bam. So,
The Janet Humphreys.
Yeah.
All politics. She sat there every place I went. She was there with her daughter. Big deal.
Who did it
Invited, yeah, signed off, everything. But she's a teacher's aide. When they put her in this position, right, and have her up there, everything I went to, she was there.
I got along with her.
And then they jumped her.
Back then?
mhm.
I don't think she was very smart.
They
But,
jumped her.
I didn't know.
se va bien conmigo.
Yeah.
Used to get along with her boyfriend. What's his name? Used to be head of 99.
Bill Lloyd.
Fucking Bill.
Oh, Bill.
Now that's a fucking shady motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, one time I was I remember when me and Vladovic on the school board almost went to blows in a closed session meeting, and Vladovic called Antonio to snitch on me, like that I had disrespected him, which I did. Because he yelled at Monica Garcia, and fucking Monica Garcia just fucking stood there and took it. I go, you don't fucking let him talk to you like that? Fuck that shit, I'm getting up. And then I tapped in the Judía, Tamara Galatson, and I'm like, this is a chola, pobrecita Monica. I'm like, for as big as you are and as loud as you are, you can't fucking defend yourself. I'm not going to be spoken to that way, and I'm not going to let you get spoken to that way. So I tapped Tamara in, and then we both took his ass on. Bill then kind of called me to try to check me, and I'm like, fuck you, dude, you too. Fucking Antonio was like, why are you going? Like, fuck this guy. How do you fucking let these people disrespect Monica? You guys haven't given her a job. You won't even give her a fucking salary increase.
Nothing.
Antonio was a mayor. We couldn't get a salary increase. That time in political optics against Tanto.
Everything.
Meanwhile, we're fucking scraping, right?
Everything.
Fucking making $25,000 a year, having other full-time jobs, and Monica just lived on that. I was like,
And she made everybody rich.
pobrecita, all
And
of
she
them,
made everybody rich.
Camachos, all these fucking guys, y de que le sirvió? I'm like, man, Antonio used her to the 10th degree.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
They made everybody rich.
That was so me and Bill became friendly after that. But dude, whew.
Gil and I had these discussions in different ends of the city, right? But the same discussion 50 years ago that we're having today,
Mm-hmm.
right?
So what are we gonna do about
Well,
this?
well,
Is that what we want to talk about?
Let me say this about this. So, unlike 25 years ago, Ron, we do have a Mexican in charge of the Fed. We have a Mexican in charge of the council. We have more members on the council. We're in a different spot now than we were 25 years ago. The thing for us is to exercise our power. To
Exactly.
get together, we are, exercise our power. You're right, there's 3 seats. If you figure out the valley, the seats on this corridor, historic African American, which I could support 1, maybe 2, but those are Latino seats.
Mm-hmm.
You know, get Fernando Guerra in here. There's 57 out of 60 seats that African Americans are in are Latino seats. From the Comptons to the Gardinas to the
Even Inglewood probably.
Oh, Inglewood, 100%. Right? In the city, what's current at? 76%?
86.
86.
Fucking
Oh my
South Central.
God. You can't throw a rock and not hit a Mexican.
South Central.
86.
The 15th is also, right?
Yeah.
And the 8th and the 10th.
The 15th should be run by union members and Latinos.
Yep, young Chicano union members out of Longshoremen, out of right down there, Teamsters.
Teamsters.
No, I'm at the Fed.
Right? It's the strong, one of the strongholds.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
We've got to get, there's some talented people for the 10th. Right? Celina Vasquez people. I mean, people who grew up there, not the parachute in, not the, I went to Yale, I'm going to come back and parachute in, but real people who grew up there.
No, that's
Right?
not true. You should call Sarah about that, because Sarah's got more information.
And then taking the airport.
All that stuff. 'Cause her and
I like that idea of taking the airport. 'Cause that's powerful. And not to have a bond in there, but to have somebody who cares about all the jobs, all the development.
Not at all.
I mean, that
No, that's
development
not
of
what
the
she's
airport
there, and
is
we have no reason to believe
rich.
that's true.
What I think is important is that as we speak about expansion,
And
the
yeah,
current
what's before them now, or
Latino
what they're
seats that we have
attempting
right
to
now,
do, doesn't even,
city
you can't even make that
14,
argument with
citywide,
that map.
Monica Nuri, right?
Tell him that. Yeah.
That base has to be protected as well and make sure it
But
stays
what-
that way for us. And then when we're gone, if I'm successful, I'm out.
So you
next
should
year.
just call Sarah,
You're
see if she can
successful,
tell you
right?
more
You're
about
out
it,
in
because
4 years.
she's been talking to
City
them.
1 remains Latino, City
Yeah.
14
Okay.
remains
Try you
Latino.
later, bye.
So as we
Bye-bye.
talk about expansion, right?
That's why Saturday I told you I can't go to Eagle Rock, I can't go to Highland Park, that doesn't help me.
But does that map have you going to Eagle Rock and Highland Park?
One of them did, I think.
Which
I
one?
think yours is.
There's 2 K25. There's one with K25.
You have the maps,
Paper.
Ron? Cause I'd like to get some clarity,
Which one? The K25?
whatever map you've got, because,
Oh.
we're all over the place. And these guys already have their own deals.
The 64, what is it? 932, that one? The latest one, the LACLA
I
one?
think no matter what happens, Bill, we're gonna have to fix it in our house.
Yes.
So they've come up with,
Fed, we have a Mexican in charge of the council. We have more members on the council. We're in a different spot now than we were 25 years ago. The thing for us is to exercise our power. To
Exactly.
get together, we are, exercise our power. You're right, there's 3 seats. If you figure out the valley, the seats on this corridor, historic African American, which I could support 1, maybe 2, but those are Latino seats.
Mm-hmm.
You know, get Fernando Guerra in here. There's 57 out of 60 seats that African Americans are in are Latino seats. From the Comptons to the Gardinas to the
Even Inglewood probably.
Oh, Inglewood, 100%, right? In the city, what's current at? 76%?
86.
86.
Fucking
Oh my
South Central.
God, you can't throw a rock and not hit a Mexican.
South Central.
86.
The 15th is also, right?
Yeah.
And the 8th and the 10th.
The 15th should be run by union members and Latinos.
Yep, young Chicano union members out of Longshoremen, out of right down there, Teamsters,
Teamsters.
No, I'm at the Fed.
right? It's the strong, one of the strongholds.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
We've got to get, there's some talented people for the 10th, right? Celina Vasquez people, I mean, people who grew up there, not the parachute in, not the, I went to Yale, I'm gonna come back and parachute in, but real people who grew up there.
No, that's
Right?
not true. You should call Sarah about that, because
Develop.
Sarah's got more information.
And then
about-
taking the
about
airport.
all that stuff, 'cause her and
I like that idea of taking the airport, 'cause that's powerful. And not to have a bond in there, but to have somebody who cares about all the jobs, all the development.
Not at all.
I mean, that
No, that's
development
not
of
what
the
she's
airport
there, and
is
we have no reason to believe
rich.
that's true.
What I think is important is that as we speak about expansion,
And
the
yeah,
current
what's before them now, or
Latino
what they're
seats that we have
attempting
right
to
now,
do, doesn't even,
city
you can't even make that
14,
argument with
citywide,
that map.
Monica Nuri, right?
Talking that.
That
Yeah.
that base has to be protected as well and make sure it
But
stays
what-
that way for us. And then when we're gone, if I'm successful, I'm out.
So you
next
should
year.
just call Sarah,
You're
see if she
successful,
can tell
right?
you more
You're
about
out
it,
in
because
4 years.
she's been talking
The
to
city
them.
1 remains Latino, city
Yeah.
14
Okay.
remains
Talk
Latino.
you later, bye.
So as we
Bye-bye.
talk about expansion, right?
That's why Saturday I told you I can't go to Eagle Rock, I can't go to Highland Park, that doesn't help me.
But does that map have you going to Eagle Rock and Highland Park?
One of them did, I think.
Which
I
one?
think yours
So there's
is.
2, K25? There's one for K25.
You have the maps,
paper.
Ron? Cause I'd like to get some clarity,
Which one? The K25?
whatever map you've got, because,
Oh.
we're all over the place. And these guys already have their own deals.
The 64, what is it? 932, that one? The latest one, the LACLA
I
one?
think no matter what happens, Bill, we're gonna have to fix it in our house.
Yes,
So let's come up with options. The whole thing is push both of them. And then we'll have to figure it out in-house. That's it.
that's it, I think.
So amend it, make changes now. This commission is fucking gone rogue. And rogue, and they're fucking useless at this point. To me, just move them both and then we'll fucking figure it out from there. But if you push a whack map, you're gonna end up with a disaster on the council. So push both.
Well, the other thing,
That's all I'm asking.
is that process
Then we'll figure
is,
it out.
I'm neither here nor, you know me on process, right?
Yeah, that whole process shit that they're arguing.
I'm not so much on the process as the
The
result,
outcome, yeah,
the
yeah,
outcome.
yeah. Who cares
So
about the process?
there's certain people who don't merit like us rescuing them. Your comadre, right?
I'm not arguing with you about that.
I know who you know.
¿Quién es tu who's your comadre?
You know,
Yeah.
Nithya.
Oh, Nithya.
She doesn't merit, right?
But it's
She's not
not
our
everybody.
ally. She's not gonna help us. Her district is not a district we can count
So
on.
you're saying that's the one to put in the blender and chop up left and right?
Well, that's what they did.
Yeah, why
But
not?
it also impacts everybody else. It impacts the valley, which fucks me, and I'm not cool with that.
Yeah,
It impacts, and whether you like Mitch or not, it impacts him, it impacts you, it impacts Curran. The whole point here is,
Another
how do we
thing.
stabilize the valley?
I'm not one sec. The kid that's running from HRE, he ain't on your side either.
No,
Oh, no, I know.
Hugo Soto.
Where's he running?
Running against
That's
Mitch.
So her point on Mitch is, I just interrupted her, but I apologize for that. But I wanna make sure that we protect Mitch,
allies.
cause this guy is your opponent.
He's
Oh, I got what? The one I know and the one I don't know.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
what, that's.
Yeah,
I got
I'd rather
one
deal with
devil
the
and
one that I
another
know.
devil.
yeah.
So my point here is, don't mess up the valley, because we're cool in the valley. Why you wanna fuck with Kokorian for?
I know.
Nobody wants a little Armenian love. I mean, they haven't done anything to us. He's not a problem. Stabilize the valley. Nithya is not going to get the perfect district. We're not gonna give her a renter's district. That's what she wants. I told her that's not happening. You're gonna get the district that you're gonna get. You're gonna have to run, and probably in a district that more than half of them don't know who you are. Go fucking do the work and see if you can get
Because
reelected.
that's why she.
But our commitment is not to reelect her. That's not my commitment. Right?
Yeah, no. She wants
No,
to
for me.
rile up the renters to create a base and not do anything for the renters. But she just gotta keep that agitation.
She's not
going.
going to get the renters. We can't give her that.
Because the thing is like, say, for example, CD1 or CD14, of course, in the immediate for Gil's reelection, but then Gil has one term. It's not us, it's for Latino strength, for the foreseeable future.
Right. And
Whereas
plus,
for her, it's about just her as an individual.
Right.
for us here, right?
She hasn't even endorsed me.
But we're gonna, oh, sorry.
She hasn't even endorsed me. Give me a break here.
Well, we're gonna get to that point. So what is this? Which ones are these? I don't,
But the backstop is it comes to the council.
yeah, but give me something I can work with. You give me a fucked up district where you piss off the entire valley, that's not gonna work.
Yeah, that was important.
Why are people fucking with us? Why? It's always the case. We don't get involved in anybody else's neighborhoods.
All the Latinos, for some reason, Polanco,
Cada vez.
Sonia
Why?
Diaz, Rocky Delgadillo,
Well, why?
everyone but the UFCW one.
I think what happens is it's like anything else, you just get in that, oh, okay. And then other people have probably said, what, okay. They don't really, I'm sure Katz and his crew have a agenda,
The
but
Judíos cut their deal with, South LA. That's how I see it. And they're
was
gonna
it,
screw
was it
everybody
Mark?
else.
Was it Mark?
And Katz.
So here's, like for us, I didn't finish, but, so we got the Gil's opponent, whatever you wanna call them, right? And then you have, the Coco group, right, Marquise. And then you have us, right, who believe in union and helping poor Latinos. So, we could, if the council split 3 ways, which it very well could, then you got the whites on there, right? So 4, we're the minority, with 25% at that point.
I think Curran will come with us.
Yeah,
No, but I mean just in the future.
Curran will come with us.
Curran will come with us.
Mhm.
Cocoin, I think, will come with us by the mere nature that the labor map is better for Cocoin.
He also wants
than
his
the
guy
immediate.
elected, so he needs a district that Irene Nazarian can win it. That's what they want.
Yeah.
They want to be reassured that they have not a Armenian district in the valley, because that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
But they want as many Armenians in that district as possible to
possible.
be able to play. Now, I don't think Adrien gets elected. If a reputable white businesswoman runs in that district, it's still pretty white.
Mm.
But that's on them.
Yeah.
I'm not cutting that deal with anybody, because I don't know that he can win.
You know that Aveen
Who's Aveen?
works for Caruso.
Areen. No, ya se fue.
Yeah,
He started his own business.
yeah, he's with Caruso.
Yeah, I like him.
He's cool, I mean.
I don't have a problem with him. He's been helpful to me in the past. He's critical of Kokorian because they had a small falling out when Areen left his office. Kokorian was really pissed off and stopped talking to him. I think they've made up, but I get along with Areen.
What's his
I'm
name?
fine with him.
What's he look like?
Areen, the guy with the one eyebrow.
Used to be with that.
Tall guy.
He used to be Antonio's body person. Right, that's how I met him. He's married to a friend of mine.
What's his name?
Areen, what's his last name?
Sepa.
No, sir.
Vegetarian.
And it's an IAN, I bet you.
Well, what are we gonna do, guys? I mean,
So the question is because.
You're gonna
it's too
take
late
care of
to pull.
yourselves. Whatever
Yeah,
is
but
best
so
for
do we
you.
give up on this commission? Is there anything is Polanco gonna keep fucking with the valley? Like, I don't even understand what his shit's about.
Cannabis.
Yeah, but does he have the best interest in mind for you, or is he trying to create cannabis lines? That's how I see it.
You know how I feel about cannabis, so he's got nothing for me, he's got a simple charge. Protect me, advance me to go west. I don't need the Northeast, I don't need Eagle Rock, I don't need Highland Park, I don't need Lincoln Heights. And so those proposals that we're talking about, I mean, that's the axis for me. And I don't need a region. I mean, all these new proposals to put, I don't wanna say to protect the valley, but the different configurations end up giving me headaches. All those 4 areas are
So
headaches.
what is, but what is
Alicia Valley's a headache, Eagle Rock's a headache, Highland Park's a headache, and Lincoln Heights. I don't need those areas. I have 4 people.
The
Raza.
region, Eagle Rock and Highland Park are white, and
Yeah.
Highland Park is white.
Mm-hmm.
The Lincoln Heights is
It's taken over by whites.
Latinos,
Is it?
but not voter strike. But you're talking about activists?
Well, this is what I'm trying to figure out, Gil, like,
Yeah,
you
activists.
name,
Voters go to work and go
so
home.
all these communities you keep mentioning, I don't know where
Are
you
being
go
dropped into my area
with this map.
with the new proposal. The latest
It's right
proposal
here.
hands me
It's
headaches.
the same.
And I don't
And
need
that's why
headaches.
you don't want it.
Yes, and Polanco's
how-
only charge is to grow me south and
So has
west.
he done that yet?
That's what the map is, the one that you object to. That's what that map does. And so when you're fixing things in the valley, you're sending me headaches to my side.
And
You're-
that's why you're not done with that plan.
You're referring to the labor map.
Yeah.
The labor
This-
map. Okay, so there's 2 maps, K25 and then the labor one.
K25, I'm good with, right? We all look at the world from where we sit. When I look at my K25 map, I'm good. When another map comes in, it dumps headaches from you and Mitch to me. So you guys are giving me your headaches.
I'm not giving no one a headache.
Well, I'm just saying that the 14 is Eagle Rock.
Let me see that.
Highland Park is Eagle Rock.
So can you massage,
Oh, I
Gil's issues in council though, right?
that's what
The
we,
west and south, we can't, then you gotta choose
When you say west, what are you referring to? K-Town?
towards K-Town, yeah.
All of it, half of it, quarter of it?
No, towards, the gateway, towards Vermont. We're good with K-Town. They love us,
But now you
we
want
take care of
K-Town?
them. No, I don't want K-Town. I'm saying that's where the growth goes, towards K-Town. Nobody, even they say K-Town, what's the borders, right? I know K-Town, we go 6 to Vermont, I'm good. That gives me more
so this
population.
map right here, Gil, what part of this you don't, what part of it you don't want? This is one.
CD1.
You good with Chinatown?
Yeah,
West-
Chinatown's my area.
So here's Pico, this is your base, I'm not, I
Yeah.
don't wanna speak out of turn, so Westlake and Pico Union is your base, correct?
Correct.
Chinatown, I think you're good in.
Yep.
Elysian Park,
Elysian Park. I'm okay, but.
cause this is labor's map, so we're trying to figure out what part of this map are you not good with?
I'm not good with anything that adds more Elysian Park to me. I'm not good with anything that adds more Highland Park or Eagle Rock. I don't see the streets here, so it's hard for me
Yeah,
to
I
say,
know,
right? Without seeing the streets here,
okay.
I don't know what I
But
got here.
if we can get you the streets, and this part of Highland Park is favorable for you, are you good with this map? Cause that's what I don't understand. I understand your problems, I get that part.
Yeah.
But if we can slice and dice this baby up to cut you off where you think the favorable people are and bring those in and send the other part to someone else,
Right.
I'm all for that. I just need to know what I'm working with this map. So what is it on this map you're not good with?
I'd have to show this to Debbie.
Okay.
Okay?
So can I get you this map in street form?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I need to do.
Yeah, cause I,
Can Ackley walk Debbie through a link on a computer today to look at this map and find out where the cutoff, what part of
Yeah.
Highland Park is, okay?
yeah,
Cause I don't believe that this map is bad for you.
I understand.
I believe that we cut off the people that
There's
are,
population, as Kevin mentioned, and then there's politics.
I understand.
And the politics are as important to us as the population. So you're right, the voters go to work in the connects and come home in the connects. But the activists, right?
Yeah.
They're there 24/7.
Chingando,
And they don't want us. I mean, the thing is, you've seen the meetings, it's not ginned up. They're clamoring to go over there because they have some ideal of some Chicano mecca of Lincoln Heights, El Sereno, and Boyle Heights. It's not us. But if they want to go in peace, man, go. We don't care.
And this map takes them out. No, we heard you. We heard you and they're gone. But I just want to make sure that what you're asking for is really the reality when it comes to the data and how these people are voting, how it's trending.
Mhm.
Because it might sound good in concept that you want this part, but if we go back and look at the numbers of how they're trending, and it's a lot more burners, a lot more white people, that does not help you.
Mhm.
Okay.
As soon as you guys.
We know that.
decide
That's
on
why
it,
we're against the Northeast.
Okay.
That's
But
what
we
they're
can't
fighting.
take all of the Northeast off either. Who takes the rest of the Northeast? I mean, it's problematic for everybody. So I think we're gonna have to have some problem areas. All of us have to eat a little bit of shit, right? It's not gonna be a perfect
Mitch.
fucking map.
Mitch is a darling for that type of people. And he's a
Well,
darling for
look.
the section.
Okay, well, look at his district. What
I'm the
part?
only Moreno that's here.
Right. And he's not gonna get a perfect district either. I'm just trying to get a majority of a good district so that you all can get reelected. We're all gonna have to fucking
Debbie
face a
can
fact.
tell Ackley what our problems are.
Okay.
That's it.
I believe that's happened. I don't believe it's getting through though, Bill, and this is why I'm kinda, I don't know how
Yeah.
else to.
The other, let me
Convey
say
this.
this, so Debbie can tell Ackley what our problems are. And then everything else we're agnostic to. We're agnostic. But I will tell you, there are certain people who are deserving and certain people who aren't.
You know what would be a bad idea is Debbie, Ackley, and Jennifer,
Mhm.
and then three.
Okay, let's see, what time is the meeting tonight? I don't even know.
Is there?
There's another fucking, I hope they just stop meeting.
Yeah.
These fuckers are, I'm so done, like, just stop meeting, ya una vez, throw in the towel, shut up, thank you very much for your service. In fact, that's what Concordian is pressuring me to do, to blow the whole fucking thing up.
But I think that for perception wise, to your point, is they're not gonna do what we want them to do, right? So. we would-
Just move 2 maps forward.
If we were to pull like Fideli and I pull Sonia, because if you pull
I'm with
Fideli,
you
I
on
have to
that
pull
one.
Sonia too,
You'll say.
because I can't have her
But
become.
it is gonna be problems for us because these people are, they're so-called purists.
Yeah.
Y se creen que, they're above it all and they
We
know more
created
than you
a
and I.
Frankenstein monster.
We created a fucking,
Yeah.
these people they feel like they're in charge of themselves. I'm like, you're in charge of anybody.
It
Who the fuck do you think is
took a
like
life of its own.
fucking this
Yeah,
monkey?
it took a life of its own, which is a lesson.
And I've never worked under these type of conditions. Like I'm of the opinion, right? That if I get appointed to something,
I take direction.
right here,
Yeah.
what do you need me to do? Cause I'm your person. Like, what is it? What do you want me to move? And I'm clear about my job. These motherfuckers, I'm like,
My guy has taken care of me, right? But he's created heartburn for everybody else.
I don't know that that's true though, Gil. I
I'm
don't.
satisfied, we are satisfied with,
With
I'm
it.
telling you,
Okay.
with Polanco, that's the K 2.5 and amended, we're good with that.
So let
We
me
can
ask-
live with that. We think it's generous to your guy, Mitch, but we're
Why
okay
do you
with
keep
that.
saying my guy?
'cause
Well, he's
your
my guy.
But
And your guy,
He's
Duran's
my
guy.
guy.
Where's your
But aren't you
protest?
not cool with him anymore? I needed a fucking
I've always
placeholder. I don't
worked with
fucking
him.
need anybody to do my job. Trust me,
Working
all
with
these guys,
I'm good with, look at
no
how,
offense to both of you, but
Look
it's
at how
like
hard I
I
worked.
do all the work.
look how hard I
So-
worked to not let this be a compare
But I
contrast to
thought
Echo Park.
you guys were okay. You sound like you guys are okay, like fuck man, you had me fooled. I'm like, oh yes, we call it the bromance of COVID bromance. They go on COVID, yeah, they're like complimenting each other and
Yeah, that's
Mr.
good work.
this
I
and
mean,
Mr. that, and I'm like, oh fuck, I didn't get the memo.
I distinguish the work and.
And now we're back to
people.
like battling, so I don't understand.
I'm not battling him. Look at how much I fought to keep him out of this.
He's a teamster. I gotta support him.
Yeah.
Family.
Who
Mitch.
is a teamster?
Yeah. That's why this guy that's running from HRE, I already told Susan.
Sometimes
Hey,
you
if
gotta
you
bring
against us,
people a little
maybe.
closer to try to control them a little bit, like sort of like calm the hell down. I get it. He's a diva. I understand that.
Sorry. But look, here's the deal. I would not mess with this process. Let it in and then let us resolve it. Right? That's what I told
Yeah,
Paul.
but
on
we gotta
Saturday.
poll like right away.
Yeah.
We got, as soon as this stuff is done, we gotta poll.
You gotta what?
Poll in the districts.
Gil, let me
Especially like ones like with Gil, I wanna poll right away.
let me ask this, Gil. So if you go in more into K-Town, right? Are those more Latino voters?
They're renters.
K-Town's a misnomer.
Okay.
It's called K-Town, but because it's got a lot of Koreans, but it's all Latinos.
So those are the ones you'd like to pick up?
Yeah.
And who?
But not all of K-Town.
Who do they belong to
No.
right now? Do they belong to?
Right now, they're in 10, all of it. And Necio wants to play for K-Town. I said, that's not gonna happen.
It's the northern
Because I
part
didn't
of
wanna
the
beef with Mark. So don't beef with Mark, let him take, and that serves
But now
us,
this is the beef with Mike.
Pero mira. it serves us to not give her all of K-Town.
Yeah.
Because if you do, that solidifies her renters district, and that is not a good thing for any of us. You have to keep her on the fence.
Yeah.
You have to make her work for
Visualize
it.
this, Kevin. Alvarado, right?
All right.
Lafayette Park, right?
Lafayette Park.
Right here. You just go a little further here.
K-Town, ¿qué más?
To
Go
Vermont.
to 6-2 Vermont.
But that's where like UFC is at. That's where the pipe trades are at.
Yeah,
That's,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
that's
So we pick that up.
Chateau Place or
Yeah,
Chateau.
yeah, yeah.
Going a couple blocks
Lafayette
down,
Park,
IHOP,
Lafayette Park.
going
It's
down
those
to
Korean
what's
stores.
Vermont.
Yeah, that's called K-Town.
Yeah, it's just.
I see a lot of little short, dark people.
Yeah, puro Oaxacan, puro Oaxacan Koreans. Not even like Kevin, little ones.
I was like, no, I don't know where these people are from. I was like, I don't know what village they came, how they got here, but
And
So
they're wearing shoes.
whatever.
So
Down
one,
feels.
I get what we have to do, right? Just massage to create districts that benefit you all.
Yep.
Right, and the future.
If
But we gotta figure out Mark's seat too,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
And I'm
that
gonna take
benefits you
Schiffer.
three.
Is if the African Americans look at this, now that he might or may not be suspended, I don't know what's gonna happen. I think that he should be, but anyhow, if he goes away,
You mean resign, not suspended.
No, here's,
you're
It's going
right,
to be
I think, yeah, there is a
if
difference.
I may,
If he resigns, hold on, if he resigns and the African Americans look at this as a hostile takeover because he's gone, we all have to figure that shit out, because politically they're gonna come after us.
Yeah, but can I say something right now? And this is what I call ¿cómo se llama this guy? The movie, the Wizard of Oz effect.
Mhm.
And what I mean by the Wizard of Oz effect is when you're at the side of the curtain, it's like this big voice.
an
And it sounds
illusion.
big.
An
And
illusion.
it sounds like there's thousands of them. And then when you actually pull the curtain, is that you see the little Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
You know what?
I've never watched the movie.
It's the same thing.
Alright.
It's real simple. You got 100 people,
I
right?
think it's the
52
old
of them are
school-
Mexicanos.
Folks,
I
I'm
feel
gonna
pretty
do
good
that.
about it.
Yeah.
I feel pretty good about my chances of beating your ass.
25 are black, and the 25 blacks are shouting. And the
But they
52
shout like there were 250.
Yeah.
When there's 100 of us, they're
Alright.
like, it sounds like
So,
there's 10 of us.
I got it.
but that seat, like, if you don't, if you don't take them out, then it hurts all incumbents.
Make them.
That the council's corrupt, right, protecting corruption. Okay, number one. Number two, if somebody slides in, right, temporary or however you do it, right, that person has to support the three of you. Has to support the three of you. And
You
Danny,
know who wants to run for that seat?
Reggie.
No, Isidore.
I ain't gonna support Reggie. Reggie was over there with Karen.
Who was over
After he was fucking sweating his ass off.
The one who will support us is Heather Hutt.
Yes.
I like Heather Hutt.
Yeah.
Heather's,
Is she the one that wrote that, I'm sorry, that,
Ran
that ran against
Isaac
Brian
Bryan.
Isaac,
Yeah.
yeah?
You know who else wants
You know, woman, African American
you know who
woman.
wants to run that seat? Irma Munoz.
I don't know who that is.
Mujeres de la Tierra.
Yeah.
And she's married
It's a
to
black
an
dude.
African American, and she
Really?
lives up in Baldwin Hills. And she lives down the street from Karen Bass.
That's a nice area.
She texted me, she said, I want to run for that seat.
Look, you just gotta combat cocoa with that seed. That seed has to be anti-cocoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't say that publicly, only the you three.
¿Qué más?
Heather and Irma, Jesus, those are like some people we can live with.
Okay, ¿qué más?
Heather's a
Hey, Tom,
personal
¿qué
friend.
más?
She could be.
I look at the boundaries in here.
Yeah, a little south, little south. Debbie will know. It's a little south, it's a little, west.
Convene, Debbie, Eckley, and Jennifer. Right.
So there's nothing we can do with Polanco at this time, right? We can't move on to push the other map and bring both maps to us. There's nothing you can do there.
I mean, at the very least, bringing both maps, so that it
Can't
gives
even
us
do
the
that.
choice. It gives.
So that it gives us options to look at other shit as we're trying to figure.
If I'm a commissioner, I am trying to do my duty by giving
Let's
you
talk
guys
about what Ron said.
choices.
The way Ron described it is the way it's happened, okay? You guys had people, and your people went rogue. Right.
Yeah.
You had the president and the staff.
Mhm.
You had the sequence of the meetings was your guy and his staff. They came up with one map, one sheet, butcher sheet, right? In the big meeting, and everybody started working on the butcher sheet, like Ron said. So a couple people said, yeah, let's do that. And after 4 hours, they said, okay, well, and then somebody said, well, what about the other butcher sheet? And we brought more butcher sheet. They said, no, it's done here. Work off of this. And that's all that happened. That's organic. That's the way it happened. I don't know about any conspiracies, any groups or anything. They were exhausted and they said, let's work off of this sheet. Just like Ron said, a couple said yes and a couple went along.
Yeah, that's a K 2.5.
That's a kid, 2.5, and including your person and including your person, right?
Yeah.
So that's what they're on. And now at the end of, I don't know, 40, 50 hours of them sitting together, including 7.5 on Saturday, Nithya gets up one day and says, oh my God, I don't know what happened. Well, her person
Jackie.
sold her out. Her person had one thing. I just want this. And they care about Nithya. I don't know what happened to Paul's person. And so there's a work product there of which it keeps getting the consensus. So then what happened is it got political and they brought in Big Mouth Jackie. They brought in, I don't know why he brought in Susan, right? Paul's upset. And we'll take care of it, righteously upset. And they brought in Jackie. You still have your person, you still have Fred, and you have another person, right? Long short is, they're stuck on that thing. So to change that is gonna be a hard lift for them. It's like the end of negotiations and somebody says, I know we have a tentative agreement, but I wanna bring in another alternative.
I understand.
It's hard.
The
You can bring an
process.
amendment, or after the process, before the vote, we can make the amendment. It's just that, it's the process of negotiations, it's the organic process that takes place. That's why I would caution you guys about changing your appointees, because it's gonna look more
We're not gonna
political.
do it. We're not gonna do it.
And,
I mean,
and,
there
and
was
two
conversation, but we're not gonna do it.
and two maps will politicize it too. We can politicize it, because we're the political entities, and that's what's.
As long as we know, see, I don't mind politicizing it amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
Once we get the map and we sit down and we start.
It's just much easier to get more than one option.
That's
all I'm
without a question, process wise.
And that's why I was asking, is there any room to figure that out with Blanco? But if you say there isn't, there isn't.
You know what I'm gonna
I'll check
do?
with him.
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this.
That's it, just
I'm
move
gonna
another
do
map.
a third ex parte with my member. I say, hey, you know what? Give us the democratic choice of having more choices.
That's all I'm asking.
So
So
I'm
that I
gonna
can have
make
more
that
than
request
one
of mine.
ship. But if you
Ask your
can't,
person.
If they're willing to play, and if she's willing to play and give us two, if not, then it's us.
You're not
folks.
gonna ever date her.
No,
that's your part.
not my type of love.
You have to go. Here, I'll
I gotta
send
get
you,
a
let
shot.
me have the hard copies and I'll send you guys, electronic
Can I
ones.
take the hard copy?
No.
Just
No,
because I'm,
no, we can't.
what do you call it?
Come on, you know how it works.
I don't do things, no, dude, I'm not Alejandro Stevens. I don't want this to be in the food. He kept the one, dude, 27 people, Ryan. He kept the
Why do
one.
you take things?
Guess where I was the
I
next
take
day?
them when I'm dehydrated.
Yeah, okay.
Because instead of drinking a ton of water, you get offloaded, vas al baño siempre.
Did you work with Stevens? Was he around?
4 bottles of water.
When
I
first
I don't
came
have
in,
this
I was
flavor,
here
but I'm gonna
right now.
take it. I have the lemon
It
one.
was,
Hey, fuck Tyrone, too.
No, I have a
I
bag.
was at a fucking.
Oh.
But you know